Like It Loud on Local Music Monday. What up, everybody? How you doing? Hope you're enjoying your Monday. You can follow along on all Disruption Network social media platforms. We're live on Twitch, we're live on YouTube, and we're live on The Book of Face. Shout out to our sponsors. Shout out to Upgrade, the ultimate brain formula. I'm on it right now. That's why I'm so I
got to get more. I'm out.
I'm in the moment right now, and it's all because of Upgrade.
I'm out.
We got to get you some more.
Okay.
Kind of out too, actually.
Yeah.
It's just like a little teeny.
Is that horny goat weed or something?
It's not horny goat weed, but what it is, it unlocks your brain receptors, Jimmy Wolf. This will wake you up. It puts the blood to the front part of your brain and not to the back part of your brain.
It does something with the mercury in lemonade, too.
Yeah, Mercury's in lemonade right now. Mercury's drinking Gatorade, and there's something going on with the universe. But this will straighten out the universe. I'm telling you, this is my go-to. It helps me with my workouts. It helps me get throughout the day. It makes me smarter, less stressed. Wow. It's awesome. I love this stuff. Go to freemanformula.com and use promo code DISRUPTION for a 15% discount. You can get pretty much all the products that Freeman Formula has to offer with that discount promo code. So give it a shot. I'm telling you, people, wake up your brain. Shout out to EJA Moving Services, the professional movers. When you're ready to move and relocate, hit up Eddie and his staff at 315-335-0516. Joey's at 307 is the place to eat in Utica. Hands down. Give them a call today if you want reservations. It's 315-864-3527. They're doing it up big over there. And they're serving lunch and booze now, too. So check out the Grabsky family over at Joey's at 307. Thank you to Utica Coffee, Saranac Brewery, my attorney, Dave Longaretta, and Ballsy. Ballwash.com. Use promo code members only for 15% discount. Justin?
Yo.
I noticed, first off, great show yesterday over at Harpoon Eddie's at Silver Beach. Were you wearing Nut Rub?
Oh, yeah.
You were?
Every day.
I could tell that you were wearing Nut Rub.
Every day.
Right off the bat, I could tell that you were wearing it. You were just you were a little tired because you had a busy week or whatnot.
It was.
But you could just tell that you were in the zone.
It felt fresh.
You were fresh.
I was giving the other guys in the band dirty looks because I knew that they weren't wearing it,
Yeah. Have you let them try the Nut Rub at all? Or?
Not mine.
Yeah, don't let them.
I told them about it, though.
Yeah, their nuts don't go
Especially Jose.
Yeah, exactly. Jimmy Wolf in the house with us today. What's up, brother? How you doing? Thanks for taking the time with us.
Thank you. It's good seeing you guys.
Jimmy's like a local blues legend. How long you been doing it now?
Oh, too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, a long time.
What was Abraham like? Did you ever meet him? No, I'm kidding.
Abraham.
Jesus? No, I'm kidding. I'm busting your balls, Jimmy. You have been doing it for a long, long time, though, brother.
Yeah.
I feel like you have more bandmates than Justin's ever had bandmates in his, because Justin's been through a lot of guys. But then I think about it.
Not as many as Gridley Page, though.
Not as many as Jimmy Wolf.
Oh.
The Jimmy Wolf family tree is extensive.
Ooh, cool.
Every time I see this guy, he's got a different band on there. How do you got that big old pond to fish out of?
Yeah.
How do you manage to maintain all these awesome musicians in your band?
Well, it seems like everybody else is in another band,
Mm-hmm.
And so I got to keep a little list of people there,
Mm-hmm.
But, the longest I had a group in the area was from 98, 98 to about 2003. I was with a guy named Todd Minard on drums and Rick Masters, you know him, on bass, played bass.
Yeah, I remember Rick.
So we were, it was Jimmy Wolf and the Self-Destruction Blues Band.
Cool.
And that was Rick Masters made that up. And yeah, that was a good band. At first it started out kind of rocky, but Rick was a total rock bass player. He root kind of guy, slamming, and I had to teach him the 1-4-5. He didn't know how to play a 1-4-5, or he didn't know how. I told him the quick change and all that kind of. He didn't know how to play a bass line, basically a walking bass line. So.
Sure.
So it came out it was kind of cool because it came out like a punk rock type of thing, and I was playing blues, and so they were playing really loud, so I had to play really loud. I had to turn it up, and it came out.
Oh darn!
it came out very. I thought it had something original going on, but then right when it gets to the point where something could happen with it, the bass player quits.
Ah, damn. It's always those damn bass players.
Yeah. So then after a while, I couldn't find a bass player, and I had to, I said, one monkey ain't going to stop the show. So I had to, I played a baritone guitar, and
oh, cool.
I did a duo like that. You know?
What kind did you have, if I may ask?
Dan Electro.
The Dan Electro one, yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So is that extra strings on that guitar? No?
It's like a regular.
It's like what Charlie Hunter uses?
Probably.
Yeah.
But it's still same 6 strings, but it's tuned down. You know, it's a longer neck, and they tune it down to like the regular E would be a B, the low would be a B.
Right.
But I tuned it down one more, so it would be an A. So I was a little deeper, and so everything comes out the way those things sound. They sound better loud. And especially when you're doing 2 people, you want to fill the room up.
Yeah.
You know? And so I would play as a duo really loud, you know, with a Marshall, going through a Marshall or something like that, you know. But I like the way it sounded, but it was hard to get gigs like that, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you had to do specialty kind of gigs. But and then right at the same time, this duo thing, when I was doing that, this band come out called Black Keys. I go, shit, they're doing a duo too. So that made me not want to do it too much after that.
It's kind of a trendy thing right now too.
Yeah.
The duos.
It got trendy really fast.
Yeah.
The White Stripes were doing it.
Stripes.
And they were doing it really good.
Rival Sons.
Right.
Another one. Black Keys.
Right.
Remember Local H? There was another one.
I didn't remember them.
You just don't get it, and you keep.
Oh, yeah.
It's Local H.
Oh, okay.
They were a duo.
They were a duo.
Yeah.
Yeah, then there was a Canadian band that did it too. I forgot what they were called, but so yeah, it was an early 2000s type thing. So, yeah, then I went back to the trio, which I like better anyway.
Sure.
Because I did it once. When I did that, I made a couple demos with it, and you know, a couple of songs sounded okay like that. But I sent it to a guy. I sent it to a guy in
Girls playing games back there.
Memphis. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to ask you a question. What's the guy's name in Memphis? Who's the guy that recorded Phillips Recording Studio? Remember Phillips Recording Studio? The old guy that was behind the board? He worked with Jerry Lee Lewis. Huh?
Sam?
No, it wasn't Sam. You're thinking of Sam Phillips. No, I'm thinking of the older guy that he played guitar. I can't remember his name. But anyway, yeah, I sent him the demo, and he kind of said, "What the hell are you doing, man?" He says, "You need a bass player." I said, "Well, I thought it would be cool." No, he says, "Don't do that. Don't ever do that again." He says, "If you're gonna play rock and roll," he says, "you gotta have 3 pieces." I said, "Okay." I said, "I fucked up." But anyway, that guy used to play guitar with Jerry Lee Lewis back in the 50s. And he was, I can't remember his name, but he was a great guy. And he worked at Phillips Recording Studio.
Wow. Very cool.
Really, really, really great guy.
I can't remember his name. I know who you're talking about, too.
Yeah, he was a rockabilly legend, you know.
Yeah.
Rockabilly legend.
Carl Perkins?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
No, it wasn't Carl Perkins, though. He lives in Jackson, Tennessee, though. I know some people that know him.
That's cool.
When did you get your start playing professionally?
Really, it was here.
Here in the
Utica area.
Yeah.
Not much more in Utica, because what happened was a lot of people don't know, but when I was in high school, I was in sports, and I was a football player.
Oh yeah.
And I got a scholarship to. I went to the University of Tennessee.
Really?
Cool. Yeah. And
you're a volunteer?
Yeah. Volunteer for life.
Well, what position did you play in football?
I was on the line.
Yeah.
Because I was really, I was big back then for my age. I was
Still big.
I went up to 240 one time.
Wow.
And lifted weights all the time and all that crap. And but at the same time, I had musician friends, and I was more in awe of those guys, because I hired them for parties and shit like that. Some guys from Utica named Dave Riegler. They called him Dare. I don't know if you remember him. He was in a band called Roger Wilco and the Radio Waves.
Mm-hmm.
it was there, and Mike Brooks.
Yep.
He plays with Fran Cosmo.
Cool.
I think he's still playing with Fran. So those guys were in bands when they were like junior high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to tell you about Brooks, because a lot of people don't know. He was like 14, 15 years old, and he was playing Eddie Van Halen note for note.
Wow.
I mean, he was you had to see this guy. I mean, I was like in awe of him. I said, how do you do that, man? I didn't play guitar at the time, but I really loved it. And I said, how do you do that? I said, I was thinking to myself, I'm never going to be able to do that like that guy. So Mick was like my first local influence, wanting to do that. But Mick had, he also used to play Rick Derringer really good. He would do Rick Derringer, Hot Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo.
Yeah.
Johnny Winter. I mean, he was ripping, and he was, it was really balls to the walls. And he's a great guy. So
they were in Tennessee with you?
No, they weren't.
Okay.
Actually, this is before I even played.
Gotcha.
But it got me into that scene. So anyway, I went to Tennessee. I stayed just for a year. It was really hard to leave because I had so much pressure from family, mainly my father. I had to play football. To be quite honest with you, I wanted to quit my senior year. I just didn't. I was burned out on sports.
Yeah.
Football.
Where'd you go to high school, Jimmy?
I went to RFA.
RFA.
But I had a chance to get a scholarship, so I went with it. Just see what would happen, And I could have went to University of Miami at the time. I had to pick between Miami or Tennessee.
Wow.
I took 2 trips to Miami. You're only supposed to take 1. They gave me another trip. And it was really, who took me around? Jim Kelly.
Come on.
Yeah.
Really?
He took me out.
He was an upperclassman at the time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was a freshman at the time or something like that.
Oh, wow.
I can't remember.
Oh, that's so funny.
And he took me out to some parties and out to some clubs and shit like that. Yeah, it was really cool.
How cool is that?
But that was the last time I seen him. I just heard about him after that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Heard a lot about him.
Yeah. But anyway, when I picked Tennessee. Tennessee won me over for the tradition. It was like seeing that stadium, 100,000 people, or close to it at the time. It's more now. And the whole tradition and everything. And there was a guy from RFA that actually went to Tennessee.
Tim Molesky?
No, you're thinking of somebody else.
Yeah.
It was Mike Davis went there. He was a walk-on, too. He just walked on.
Oh, wow.
And afterwards, you're thinking of...
it's a Polish last name. Right?
Myslinski.
Yes, thank you.
Tommy Myslinski.
Tom Myslinski, yes.
Yeah, he was a young kid at the time.
Okay,
when
gotcha.
he was coming up. But he was going to be pro anyway. That guy was just... Yeah, he was...
A man amongst boys.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Motor Lord.
Yeah, I think he started lifting weights when he was 2 years old or something.
I came out of the womb pumping iron.
For some reason, that doesn't surprise me.
Did you play with any future Hall of Famers or future NFL players in Tennessee at all? Or
Yeah, well, when I was there, let me see. Right across the hall, I roomed with a guy that went to school with Bill Bates. He was at Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
He went going to Dallas. So Billy Bates and right next door to me was gosh, who's the guy that went to? He went to Chicago Bears, and they did that rap thing.
Yeah, the Super Bowl shuffle.
Oh yeah,
that's right. He was in that. Oh God, what is his name? He was a sprinter though. He was a
Willie Galt.
That's it.
Yeah,
he must be a football fan, huh?
Yeah, of course.
Huge.
Oh yeah, Willie Galt.
Willie Galt.
Yeah, all he drank was Mellow Yellows. I mean, the guy did not do anything. He just drank Mellow Yellows all the time.
Yeah, he had international speed. That guy. He would run
Yeah.
In the Olympics too, wasn't he in the Olympics too? Like maybe '84, I think it was, or '88. One of them.
And then I remember he would come in our room, and my roommate put pictures of naked girls all over the wall. You know, Playboy, Penthouse, or whatever. And he'd come in there and look around, going, "Damn, damn, how do you guys stay in here, man?" It's like, that's what I remember about him. And let me see who else was there. There was a guy from Weedsport, Jordan. What the hell was his name? Anyway, he was a running back.
That's a lot of tradition in that school.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was quite a thing. So anyway, what happened was I got there and didn't want to. I went through the whole thing, the whole game, but I lost all my weight. I was skinny all my life. I tried to drink all this protein stuff, and lift weights.
Sure.
And that's what really kept it on, But otherwise, I couldn't eat. I got there. I showed up there about 225 pounds, which is light.
Mm-hmm. Especially for the guy in the line.
Yeah, they said, what the hell happened to you? So it didn't matter to them. I had to go against these guys. They were like 280 pounds, 300 pounds. I mean, on a daily basis, I was out there with these guys. I was basically, had to do the best I could.
They're kicking your ass.
Oh, yeah. And it was a matter of time before I was going to get hurt. I just knew it. Because I already messed my ankle up when I was there. And my knees hurt all the time, because the pounding and then trying to go against these guys, how big they are. Every time you get in a car, your knees are just aching, and it was just ridiculous, So I was thinking to myself, I got to get out of here, because especially I started going out in these clubs and I seen these bands playing again, and I was thinking, oh man, these guys got all this freedom, It was to me, I felt like I was in a army boot camp or something like that. Right. No freedom at all like that. And these guys were like 16 years old, growing their hair down to here, and had GEDs, and were going for rock and roll, So that impressed me. I thought these guys had balls for going against the grain, and I was going with the grain, not doing what I wanted to do in life. So I just turned it around and I said, I'm going to do that. So I went back home, and I was supposed to go to the, it's called the Astro Bluebonnet Bowl. We're supposed to go to Houston, Texas. So I wouldn't been able to go home for Christmas. And I said, F that, I'm going home. Because I was really homesick at the time.
Yeah.
So I went home and told everybody I was quitting. And my father said, no, you're not doing that. You're crazy. It's a full scholarship, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, they got me back. He had me talking to all these. I had to talk to coaches. I had to talk to, principals, and trying to talk me back in. And they did.
Of course.
I went back, and I stayed about a month and a half. And I remember I told him, I said, shit, I can't go home now. I told him I was going to move to Florida. I said, I'm going to move to Florida. He says, no. He says, basically, you can come back, but, he didn't talk to me for a year.
Wow.
He just did not say a word to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was pretty hard.
I bet.
And
is that when you picked up the guitar?
Yeah, well, I did down there. I was 18, and I picked up the guitar, and I was learning just the, basically you get a songbook and learn these chords, Hey, I could play a Neil Young song.
Yeah.
And that was, to me, it seemed easy. It seemed pretty easy to do. So then I got to, when I got back up here, I started, and I bought a bunch of blues records on there because I went into like the library. They had a great library in Knoxville. And you go in there and you hear any blues records. First thing I found was Buddy Guy. I don't know why. But I found his stuff, and I listened to that. And so I went out and bought a bunch of records. They were real cheap in the store, like cutouts, $1. And I've got Howlin' Wolf, Elmore James, Hooker, Buddy Guy. And I started studying that stuff. And but I came back here and I enrolled at MVCC. 180 pounds.
Wow, you lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, grew my hair long.
Wait, how tall are you?
6'3".
6'3" and 180 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think that I'd be like the stick over there. Dad, I can imagine that.
Started smoking a lot of pot.
You knew that was coming. Open up those brain receptors.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. I came home. I remember I brought a case of Lowenbrow to the house.
Do they still make Lowenbrow?
I think they do.
Do they?
Yeah, you can get it like Marcy discount stuff.
I found it down there, and my father goes, "What the hell are you doing with this case of beer? You lost all this weight," yelling at me. I said, "Don't worry about it." But so, I was just going completely on faith. I didn't know what the hell I was gonna do. So it didn't go over good at all, this music thing, I think I was crazy. But within 2 years, I got in a band.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I put a band together in 2 years.
Did you take any lessons or anything? Was there a guitar teacher involved?
There was a guy, really crazy guy I met. I don't know how I met this guy. He went to Berkeley, and he was in Clinton, and he told me he was, he gave lessons and crap. And I said, "Hey, man, I'd like to learn some blues stuff, because I didn't really understand. I was kind of like learning lead stuff before I learned chords.
Yeah.
So you
went a little backwards, yeah.
Yeah, because the chord stuff was kind of more jazz.
Yeah.
It was more jazz stuff,
Yeah, I've heard people do that though.
Really?
Well, especially like the old Hal Leonard books, whatever they call. What do they call those?
Mel Bay.
Mel Bay books, It started out with like scales. Like, well, first it's how you got to hold the guitar. Remember the old ones? It was like put it on your left leg like this. You know what I mean? And but they would teach you. They start to teach you scales, and then like Mary Had a Little Lamb, and like you were learning single notes before you were learning chords.
Right.
So I mean, it makes sense. I know a lot of people that have done that, but most of us start rhythm first and then lead. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But as far as lead stuff, I was listening to Albert King. That really turned me on a lot. I felt like I could do it, And anyway, the guy from Clinton, he taught me some chords, and it's funny because when I first started playing a harmonica.
Oh.
I got a harmonica, and I started listening to some blues stuff on the harp, and I was singing a little bit, trying to or whatever. And he told me, he goes, guitar's kind of a pain in the ass. He says, you got to kind of stick to the harp and singing. He said, I think you might do better with the harp and the singing. I was like, oh God, this is not really encouraging.
Yeah, for sure.
So I kind of, I was kind of getting that going. At the same time, I was doing a little singing, trying to play the harp, but there was a guy in Rome named Floyd McClendon. I don't know where he is now, but
sounds like a famous name.
Yes, yeah, it does. But he was a bass player, but he played all instruments: bass, drums, guitar. He was a really good guitar player too. But when I was first trying to start playing with different people, he could pick up anything. He played all the bass lines to all the blues records I liked. It was boring to him. He liked to play Rush. Nobody around here wanted to play blues. Not any of the younger guys. They were kind of frowned on it. Even most of the black guys didn't want to play blues.
Oh wow.
I got them all into it. Actually, it was weird. So I got them playing because we started getting work, and then a little bit, blues is getting a little name around, like George Thorogood, and he was probably the most popular guy.
At the time?
At the time, yeah. And then it was Steve Ray Vaughan and
Of course.
Robert Cray.
I love Robert Cray.
Yeah.
Jeff Healey.
Jeff Healey. Well, Jeff Healey was later. He was like late 80s,
Yeah.
early 90s.
Robert Cray for me is like he took like almost like poppy type songs and put like rip and blues licks over it.
Yeah.
You know, in a way, like, you know, all the songs like had like that whole blues undertone to it, but they were more like top 40-ish.
Yeah, he was kind of R&B-ish.
Yeah.
He went R&B, like.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that he played bass. I saw him. He was playing bass on the Animal House. You know
What?
that? Yeah.
Really?
Remember that band?
Yeah.
O'Day. What's his name? Otis Day.
Otis Day, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Otis Day and the Knights. Yeah,
Yep.
he played bass on that.
That's crazy.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah, check it out. It's
Young
cool.
Robert Trey.
Yeah, he was. We did a gig at Seneca Niagara, and we used to sneak upstairs from where we had to play. Our stage was like 15 feet off the ground, you know. So we would go upstairs. We'd sneak into like, I don't know. It was like the sitting room, but it had a door, and it went to the catwalk of the stage for like their version of the showroom. And we sat up there and listened to Robert Cray all night. It was just, oh my God! And every time we went on break, we'd just go back into that catwalk and just listening, you know. Oh, it was so cool listening to him right from like the top of the stage.
That's awesome.
So cool.
Did he have his bass player with him at that, Richard Cousins?
I can't remember because we couldn't see him. We could just hear him. You know what I mean? So it was like,
You're up in the catwalk.
yeah, we were up in the catwalk, and we could, all we saw was curtain, but we could hear everything. So
Wow.
I'm not sure he had with him. It was a few years back, 3-4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
I haven't
incredible.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
Tony from Uncle Charlie and the Meatballs wants you to tell the story about your buddy and Christmas vacation.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Chris. Oh, yeah, that's the guy, Curtis Wilson. I got, well, this is, now I'm kind of like going ahead a little bit.
It's okay.
It was when I got a gig with a guy named Larry Davis. Larry Davis wrote the song Texas Flood that Stevie Ray Vaughan made famous.
Yeah.
A lot of people think it's Stevie's song, but it was Larry wrote that when he was 17, and he was on that what label was that? Peacock Records or something. It was out of Houston. So anyway, Larry was in Little Rock, Arkansas, and I got the gig with Larry from Jimmy Dawkins from Chicago, and it was weird how everything happened. It was all connected. But anyway, I went down to me and a guy from Utica that I was playing with, J.J. Jackson. I started doing gigs with him. That's a whole other story. Me and J.J. went down to Little Rock to play with, because Larry said, you come out here, he says, you make $200 a week, you could stay at my house. So I didn't really know much about Larry Davis. I just knew that he put out a record in 1982 that won all these awards.
Oh, wow.
And he was playing 300 nights a year. And he was really huge in Europe too, of course. All the guys loved him in Europe. And I didn't really know about his past too much, but Larry had played bass with Albert King in the '60s.
Oh wow!
So he played all the Fillmores, and all the stuff that was recorded live at the Fillmore with Albert King. That's Larry on bass.
Wow!
And he also was doing. Then as I listened to the one that came out afterwards, it was called Wednesday Night and Thursday Night at the Fillmore, and that's Larry. He was emceeing. He was going,
oh wow,
ladies and gentlemen, but his name's not on the album credits.
That's crazy.
And I said, Larry, what happened? I said, well, I hear you on there introducing Albert King. He goes, he was probably just mad at me. he didn't want to put my name on the album.
That's hilarious.
Albert told him that, he drove the bus for Albert.
He drove the bus too and played the bass.
He drove the bus and played the
Freaking bass players,
Probably booked
man.
the shows.
And
Marketing manager.
Larry was, and he was a driving maniac. The guy would drive. He could just. I never seen anybody drive like that guy. We had to play the Handy Awards, and we were up here doing gigs around New York State, and we had to be there like in this crazy amount of time. We did 90. We were doing 90 something all the way, and this is 100. Whatever he was doing, and we were sitting in the back of his Suburban. And we were just scared. It was scary, man.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I'm not like a fast driver.
No.
So anyway, we just stayed back there and we got stoned. me and the bass player.
There you go.
It was crazy. And so we got there and we made it anyway. So he got a ticket on the way. Where am I going with the story?
Christmas vacation.
Yeah.
Okay, Christmas vacation. So anyway,
Maybe you should smoke one now.
I know, right?
Will put us right back on track.
Yeah.
It usually does.
So anyway,
Wait, apparently Tony is still following the story right now.
He
At
says
least
that's why
he's
I love
following. I have no idea what's going on. This is great.
listen, Tony.
Larry Davis.
So anyway, okay, the guy's name is Purse Wilson.
Okay.
Okay, I found this guy. Somebody back there is making me laugh. I had to hire a drum. I hired the whole band for Larry Davis, and he goes, I said, we got to get this guy Purse Wilson. He's the baddest ass drummer that I've heard playing blues. He was a young 22-year-old drummer from Chicago, and we got to go to Chicago to pick this guy up. So we had a gig in Chicago anyway, or something like that. So we go there and we get him. Purtis is ready to go, and he ended up coming back and staying with me at my house. And he had played with Lonnie Brooks. He was playing with Lonnie Brooks and a whole bunch of other guys on the South Side. I mean, Purtis is a right out of South Side Chicago ghetto,
Yeah.
street kind of guy. So, but he was a nice guy. Say a little cocaine habit. I didn't know that until we got him up here staying at my house. But we did get to jam. He jammed with the guys. In fact, we had a rehearsal place, and one of the guys jammed with him from SIV.
Oh, yeah.
Remember SIV?
Oh, of course.
I
Yeah.
heard you guys talking about this.
Yeah.
No, his last name was, we called him Z, right? The bass player for that band.
Yeah, I can't remember. Wasn't it not Scott? Yeah, it was Scott.
No.
There's a couple Scotts in that band, right there.
Yeah. So if he's listening, I'm sorry, I can't remember right now. It's too much stuff. But anyway, you guys are cracking me up. Okay, so he got in the movie Vacation. He calls me up. He says, Jim, he went home. We dropped him off back in Chicago. He says, hey, I'm going to be in this movie. I said, what are you talking about? It's got Chevy Chase in it and this and that. So they were the band, and they're playing. I don't know, for some reason, Chevy Chase is coming out of his office building, and there's a band playing down there where they got, Santa hats on and whatever they call those things.
The office Christmas party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember, and Chevy Chase is working.
Is this the original Vacation? Not
Christmas Vacation.
This is Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
Christmas Vacation. Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to remember.
So he was in the band playing drums in that movie, and they paid him, and he's on every year. There's a smiling face, and so that's his claim to fame right now.
Nice. You've played with so many people throughout the years. Is there a couple pinch me moments that you have? Like, pinch me, I can't believe I'm in this moment. Like, I can't believe I'm playing with this dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the first one would be Buddy Guy.
You played with Buddy Guy.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I put it on the. It's on YouTube. It says Jimmy Wolf jams with Buddy Guy, but it was really what the story was that I just played his guitar. He was playing at Red Creek in Rochester, and he was walking around. You know, he would do the song at the end toward the end of the night, or the end of his set, or whatever. And it was him with Junior Wells, and he was walking around going down. You know, down, 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 down. So I'm sitting right in front, and I was like blown away that night. I was like, I just couldn't believe it, what I was hearing. It really was an awesome moment. And I'm sitting there with my girlfriend, and I had to get alive for the girl, you know, because that's why he came through the house, and he came right to my table. I said, oh, shit. And he hands me his guitar. He goes like this. I'm going, yeah, okay. I grabbed it, and I said, what key is it in? A. So I had to kind of walk back up on stage to do this, because he was down here, and we walked up there, and all of a sudden I'm like trying to play his guitar, and his strings are like butter.
Yeah.
It was like he was playing like eights or something.
Sure.
Like very, you know, all kinds of the sounds that he was getting with it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what he was playing through at the time, because I seen him play with different amps at different times, but it was some kind of Fender amp that was just all beefed up or something.
Sure.
Because I didn't see no pedals or anything.
Wow.
It was just turned all the way up, and so I was trying to get some sound. I had a Guild Starfire. That's what he played. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of familiar with it. So I got some sounds coming out of it, and I had a little rough start right in the beginning. And then I got into it, and it was next thing I know, I was like right where I was supposed to be with the band. The band brought it right up.
Oh, cool.
So I was like in the zone.
Yeah.
And I kept playing, and he tried to grab the guitar to take it back. I kind of jerked it back like that, like it wasn't done.
Oh, man.
And I said,
get out of the way, Buddy Guy. I got this.
Yeah. And then I gave it back to him, and he goes to the audience, how about that? And they were screaming, you know, it was like
awesome.
It was an awesome.
So would it be safe to say that Buddy Guy was part of the Jimmy Wolf band?
For a second.
For a minute, you know? He's got to be part of the tree.
It was weird. It was really weird.
How cool is
So
that?
afterwards, Junior Wells got a big kick out of it, because he came down and he was laughing. He was shaking my hand. He goes, oh, that was awesome, man. That was awesome. And after the whole show was over, I started walking over. I wanted to go over and thank him, and Buddy Guy comes over, and he puts his arms like this and gives me a big hug.
Oh, wow. How cool is that?
And got their phone numbers that night. They gave me some cards, and it was really something.
Were you able to keep in touch with him or anything? Or
yeah, I used to call up. I called up Junior a couple times and asked him if he needed a guitar player. You know, because sometimes he would do his own band.
Sure.
And Junior said, it's funny because he lived with his mother. Mm-hmm. You know, his mom would answer the phone or something.
Yeah.
Or he'd be sleeping, you know, wake him up.
Buddy Guy's still with us too, right?
Oh yeah,
he's still alive. He's got to be damn near 80 years old, right?
85.
Yeah.
85.
Yeah, he's got to be up there.
Yeah.
Did you play a lot in Chicago?
Just a few times.
Did you ever play a place, I can't remember what side of Chicago it was on. I think it was the south side, but Kingston Mines.
Oh, yeah,
there's like two bars in it. Like the right side's like a rib shack, and the other side's like just a regular bar. But I saw Carl Withersby there.
Oh, yeah.
Or Weathersby, yeah. And he's incredible. But the one guy on the other side was just old, like must have been in his 80s. You know, and he would do this thing where he'd play, and he's just got the rip room, dun, 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 and he'd hit something, they go, shit. And I swear his bottom lip was so long it was hitting the ground every time. Shit. like this, and he shit. We were, oh my God, we were rolling. But it was like, we were like, yes, because it's so, sometimes, like, with the blues, like, the thing I love about the blues is you can play one note and it can feel just as good as Eddie Van Halen ripping 75,000 notes in the same phrase.
Right.
So like, here's this guy playing 4 notes, and he's so wrapped up in the 4 notes that he just can't help himself from yelling shit, And it was so cool to watch. So I had to ask if you ever played there, because it was, we went back there. We played in Chicago like 3 or 4 times. Over 4 years, and we would always go, because we started Buddy Guys. We're like, it was Buddy Guys Blues Club. It's kind of like a cookie cutter corporation type run bar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we literally asked somebody in there where we find real blues. Where do we go to watch real Chicago blues? And they sent us to Kingston Mines, and so we went back there all the time, and what an experience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, I wanted to ask if you ever played there, because it's awesome place.
I did. I went to a jam session there.
Yeah,
and played.
Real fans of the blues too there. Like real fans will go there.
A lot of college kids and stuff.
Sure. But people that really want to hear Chicago blues,
We played at when I was with Larry Davis. We played at a place called, it was just called Blues, BLUES, like
right.
B. Blue. So we played there with a guy named Moose Walker, played piano. He used to play with Earl Hooker.
Right.
But anyway, the Buddy Guy story. I had his number, and I started following him around New York State, like any place he played in New York State, like Lost Horizon or The Haunt, or especially New York City. I used to go down to Lone Star.
Yeah.
I would go to all these places, Turning Point, and I forgot what the Turning Point was. Piermont, New York, and saw him down there. But followed him around, and then I would always kind of like talk to him, say what's happening, and this and that, and have a drink with him.
It's awesome.
And it was pretty cool.
He remembered you all these years, yeah.
Yeah, but then sometimes it seemed like he didn't remember. He would say, "Hey, yeah," he would always talk to me about Joe Beard in Rochester, New York. He said, "Yeah, Joe Beard, and his son's doing great now." Anyway, somehow I got it was the late '80s, and I got a chance. Someone said that Buddy Guy needed a guitar player. Oh. So I go, what the hell? I talked to his manager. His manager said, yeah, you can come down and audition. You need to come down to Chicago. So I said, shit, yeah, I'll go, And I was supposed to meet Buddy. I talked to Buddy on the phone. He said, yeah, talk to my manager, and get it set up. So I flew over there and set it all up and talked to Buddy on the phone. I said, he told me to go jam with Junior Wells. He goes, I'll come down and see you at the Kingston Mines. Junior Wells is going to be there.
Wow.
And his band. So you sit in with them guys. And what happened was a friend of mine that played with me with Larry Davis was playing with Otis Rush at the Wise Fools pub. So I went to the Wise Fools pub first to see my friend James Cloyd. It's James Cloyd. Played bass. He was from Detroit. Really great guy. Great bass player. And so I was really enjoying the show, checking it out. And I told James, I got to go to Kingston Mines to go see Junior because Buddy's supposed to be there. So I went down to Kingston Mines, saw Junior. I said, hey, Junior, I'm supposed to sit in with you tonight. Buddy's coming down, and he wants to hear me play with you. He goes, he ain't coming down. I said, why not? Because he's a goddamn liar. And I knew that it wasn't going to go anywhere. I said, oh, my God, what the hell's going on?
So you flew out there for nothing.
Well, yeah. Well, kind of, yeah.
Kind of.
Kind of, yeah. So what happened was Buddy Buddy's friend Carlos Santana was in town, so he took Carlos to go see Otis Rush, where I just was at.
You were just there.
I was just there. So he takes him to see Otis Rush, and then I think maybe Carlos sat in. Buddy didn't sit in, I heard. And so he never showed up. And I said, I was like really, really depressed, bummed out about that. So I went home. I went back to the hotel and called Buddy Guy up the next day, and he says, "Oh, don't worry about it, man. I'm sorry that I got caught up with Carlos. So we'll hook up tomorrow night at the NAM. They had a NAM thing going on over there. He says, go meet me at the NAM thing." So we went to the NAM, and Buddy said Buddy came in there with his wife, and not much was going to happen there because Buddy started talking about himself. He said, "I know you played with some great blues guys. You played with Jimmy Dawkins, Larry Davis, Bill Doggett, whatever." He said, "But when you play with Buddy Guy, it's a totally different thing." I said, "Yeah, well, I know that. But I know your show. I've seen you like so many times.
Yeah.
I know what your show is." So, I don't know. He just kind of was blowing me off, I guess,
And he really talked about himself in the third person?
Yeah, a lot. Like 3 times. Different. When you play with Buddy Guy, it's like this. But when you do something else with Buddy Guy, it's like that. It's like Buddy Guy. And I don't know. He was totally different from when I first met him.
Wow.
And I was telling him how I met him, and he said, "Oh, he kind of act like he remembered,
Sure.
But I have no idea." So then he said, "Well, listen, we can't jam tonight because of such and such." It was Neil Sean was there.
Yep.
John Entwistle was there.
Wow. All the sync Otis Rush.
No, this is at the NAM show.
Oh, at the NAM show.
The next day. But they were all backstage, these guys.
Yeah.
And anyway, another guy that wrote a song called Wham. I forgot what the hell that guy's name was. Bearded guy. So Buddy says, "Well, there's a Blue Monday jam going on. If you want to stick around." I said, "I can't. I blew all my money. I'm supposed to be out of here Sunday. I played Friday, Saturday. I got to be out of here Sunday." So he said, "Well, if not, then maybe we can meet in New York next month or 2 months, month and a half or whatever." I said, "No." I said, "We'll see what happens." But I just never pursued it after that.
Yeah.
Probably left a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went back, started playing with more gigs with Larry Davis. And a guy from Bobby Blue Bland's band told me one time, and when we were in Arkansas, he goes to me, I was telling him, who I was, what I did, and he says, "Man," he said, "I just was hanging out with Billy Gibbons. You know who Billy Gibbons is?" I said, yeah, I heard of them. Well, he says, "Do your own thing, man." He says, "Don't do what I did. Play behind Bobby Blue Bland for 40 years or whatever." He says, "Just do your own thing. Go out there and make the money."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Wow, this is really hit me,
Sure. Billy Gibbons, another guy that plays 8s.
Yeah. I think it's where they all got it from.
Yeah.
That's solid advice right there, though.
Oh, absolutely.
And you took that advice and ran with it?
Yeah. I didn't ever play with a guy after that.
Yeah.
But I was going, that's what I was going, I was just really trying to just get, it wasn't like I was trying to advance. I was trying to learn, and I thought maybe just to see where it would take me to play with these other guys, because I like backing people up, though. I do. It's fun, It's another aspect of playing guitar,
Yeah, that Buddy Guy story is great. You got any other guys you've jammed with that you'd like to brag about?
Jeff Healy.
Seriously, you played with Jeff Healy?
Oh, cool.
Wow.
Jeff Healy was one of the coolest guys.
Did you ever see what Jeff Healy's wife looks like?
Oh, she's a pretty girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, saw that. Oh,
go ahead.
I think I know.
Where's it going, Z?
Forget it. You played with Jeff Healy, though.
Yeah, this is totally like, I just knew that he had a club in Toronto, and I said, well, I just called him on the phone, and he answers the phone and stuff. It's like, so you're talking to him, and he'd be like, I like the way he just did. He just said, "This is what we can do. I get you a room. We can pay you $500 Canadian money, which what's that?
$250 in America.
$250.
You got to get yourself there." So one time I took the train there, and I went twice to play at his club. One time I took the train, and a band met me there. Like a bass player came from Detroit, drummer from Buffalo. That was the first time. And he came up and jammed with us both times. He had his stuff set up on the stage, and it was just really great.
Yeah.
And the guy's so good. And it's like you hear the sound coming out of what he's in your
Yeah.
What is going on here?
How much energy for a guitar player sitting down too? I mean, obviously he had to, but like just you could feel the energy in his playing. I always loved that about him. Is he just conveyed that energy.
Yeah.
Through his instrument.
He had amazing energy,
Mm-hmm.
and of course we talked about a couple things, and I asked him about Roadhouse. I said, yeah, you must have did really good with that. He says, no, not really. He says,
Whoa.
we just got paid like $300. Like just like a plain getting hired as a band,
Wow.
And they never signed anything. They were just doing it to. Then they never knew. He goes, we never knew how good that movie was going to do.
Yeah.
It could have been
classic.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, he said it could have been a flop.
Yeah. No royalties for them though, huh? Damn.
No royalties.
That's a
man.
bummer.
Right.
Yeah. So he was just a cool guy, And then, so we did that gig, and then we did another one. He played with us again, and then I put that on YouTube too. That jam. I don't know what it says Jimmy Wolf with Jeff Healy.
Yeah.
And that one where he played, and then I played afterwards. We went back and forth a little bit.
Oh, cool. And this is on your YouTube channel, like so you go to Jimmy Wolf, like your YouTube channel, you can find all these videos.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
good to know. I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole tonight, I think.
Me too.
Those two are on there.
Me too. And I actually, when I put the podcast up too, I'll make a couple links in the description
cool.
so that people could check it out.
Oh, nice.
Yes. We do have a question out there for you, Jimmy. From John Caprero, wants to know your thoughts about a young female friend jamming on drums at Delmonico's Cafe.
It's Alexis.
Yeah. Alexis
yeah.
is great. Alexis, yeah.
Yeah, she's great.
Yep.
She's got good enthusiasm too. She's enthusiastic. She has good. She's excited about playing music. Right?
Yeah.
It's hard to find people like that.
Yeah. There's some
So-
kids coming up right now that.
Oh, it makes me so happy. Remember this time last year?
Yeah.
We were like, oh my God.
Well, we were in the middle of a pandemic too
Right,
last year,
but-
but now there's all these COVID bands that have come out, rise from the phoenix of COVID, the Utica music scene. It rises.
Yeah.
Jimmy, who's playing with you currently?
Currently, seems like most of the time on bass was Joel Kane. He's from down near Auburn area. He plays with Mark Doyle. He's been playing a lot with him, or his own thing. Drums kind of went back and forth, like we were telling you before. Jeff Tripoli, he did a lot of things with me in the last few years.
That's my dude right there.
Really good drummer, and but he's been kind of tied up a lot with the Town Pants,
Yeah.
Irish rock band.
Yeah, and they're a national touring act.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So he thought they were going to break up this year, and so he was like finishing up with them. But I heard that they're not going to. I heard they're going to keep going. Why not, right?
Right.
So, and so I've been kind of like moving around with different drummers. A couple guys out of Syracuse, younger guys. They're pretty good in his keyboard playing. We got a keyboard player that I've used only once, but his name is Bryant, and so yeah, Alexis. I'm not really playing with and then Andy Jordan played a gig with me,
Oh, cool.
and he's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. For sure.
I remember Andy from, back when I first started. I remember playing with him.
Who was your drummer at the barbecue fest?
He was in the fill-in guy. That's Rock Carbone.
Rock Carbone, right.
He plays with a soul band out of Syracuse, with horns and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's a bunch of guys.
You do have a big pond to fish out of, though, with musicians.
Yeah, that's true. You do though. You have to. You know, you have to do that.
You've been doing it as long as you have. You know? I'm sure people want to come play with you, though.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
You always have gigs, right?
Usually.
Yeah, you're busy.
Usually. I'm not as getting many gigs as someone over here.
Yeah.
I'm like a whore.
You are a whore. You are.
Well, it's just, my problem is I can't say no.
Well, you got a mouth to feed too.
I know, but I can't say no because I don't want to let anybody down. You know what I mean? So it's like, I get a phone call. Can you do that? I'm like, look at my calendar. I'm like, the only day off I have is Tuesday, and they want me on Tuesday. I'm like, yeah, I'm open.
How was the fair gig last Tuesday? Was it last Tuesday or Thursday?
Fair gig.
Did you play at the fair?
No.
Courtside? I just saw a video. You guys playing at courtside.
That was from last year. If that was
copy
Showtime, that was
that.
from last year.
My
Yep.
bad. Sorry about that.
But you got a Cooper Kia.
No, I'm actually 2 cars past that now. Yeah, they
I've never seen that commercial.
they pissed me
You're
off.
blowing me away. I forgot about that.
Yeah, they pissed me off because I was like, I'm Justice Smithson and I'm keeping with Cooper with whatever the frig it said.
You were a spokesman for a while.
Well, no, but the thing is,
Yeah,
like,
you were.
No, but all they said to me was, we're trying out this new guy we got as a videographer. He's gonna do some filming of the cars, and we're gonna do this thing. Will you like kind of audition him for us and like do a commercial? And, I'm like, sure. And I'm like thinking that it's going to be for them. You know what I mean? So I did this whole thing and I used my car and I'm like, cool, whatever. And then I start seeing it on TV and I'm like, oh, they put me like on TV.
They used your likeness.
Yeah. Right. So then like I went in and I'm like, so kind of need a new car now, like, keeping with Kia, right? And I called them up on the phone looking for a car, and they never called me back, and I never got an oil change, I never got paid for it, never got anything.
Bastards.
And so I said, all right, now I'm keeping with Chevy, and then after that, now I'm keeping with Hyundai.
Yeah. This whole time I was thinking you were a spokesman for them back then.
Nope, never.
And this is what you're talking 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, about 10 years ago.
10 years
yeah,
ago.
right when Shots opened there. Remember?
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, because you were doing the commercial right out in front
Right
of
right on the side
Shots.
door.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Who's that? Jim that runs it down there? Jim something?
He used to run it. Jim Seamus.
Yeah.
I think was
No
his name.
Seamus. No shame.
No shame.
You remember him.
Oh, man, this has been... Justin, you got to get out of here, right? You got to go pick up Oliver?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jimmy, we got to do a part 2, I think. I knew it was going to be like this. Because there's just... I feel like we didn't even scratch the surface.
No, not at
How
all.
many albums do you have out right now?
Jeez.
Exactly.
Hey, let's wait. The way I'm going to say about these album things, CDs.
CDs.
I kind of looked at them. To me, they're a bunch of demos that I did, because there was only a couple of them that I felt that were albums
That you're happy with?
that I'm kind of happy with.
Yeah.
It seems like every time I do something, I only like about a handful of songs on them. And I think I don't want to do that. That's why I haven't recorded anything in a long time, is because I want to come out. I want to come away with something and say I really, really love this.
Yeah.
But a lot of stuff I come away with, I just because they don't have enough money and they don't have enough time, And a lot of times in the last 20 years, I was doing stuff just to sell on stage. And I say, oh, that's good enough. We're going to sell that on stage, And it's like, I don't want to do that anymore. It's just. But I'm all ready to record right now. I got my music together, but I just trying to find the right time, the right people, the right studio. But I want to do it.
We know a studio, don't we?
Too many. What I was going to say to you, though, too, have you ever tried home recording?
Yeah, that's actually what I did with the first record I ever did. It's called Raw Blues.
Raw Blues?
Yeah. For some reason, people really like that, and especially in Europe, they liked it because they like stuff that sounds like it's recorded with a one microphone.
Like a 4-track reel to reel.
Yeah, they really people in Europe, they love garage rock and they love blues stuff that sounds like it was some guy came in there after drinking 3 bottles of whiskey.
Yeah,
and
like the Robert Johnson recordings.
Right.
You know,
they love that stuff over there.
Awesome.
You know,
it's so cool.
over here they want everything polished.
Oh yeah, everything's got to be overproduced and it's got to look good, and then it's got to have a lot of views, and likes, and comments. And
I just started hearing pitch correction on commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that car commercial, like 1877 cars for kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Ever hear that one?
Mm-hmm.
I just heard it, and like you could actually hear the pitch correction in it. And I'm like, they couldn't find somebody that could sing it on key. They just had to like have some random kid sing it and then pitch correct it. Like, why? Why?
Now I got to notice that.
Oh, it's horrible. No, don't, because then you can't stop. Once you start noticing it, you can't stop. Wow, drives me nuts.
Jimmy, are you playing this week? You got some gigs lined up. With you want to promote some shows that you got coming up?
Yeah, I get Saturday the 2nd at Dinosaur Boneyard, solo, 6 to 8. And then the September 11th, which is a Sunday, Snubbing Post in Rome. Very rare Rome gig. That's 4 to 7. That's with the band, and I think Alexis is going to play drums.
Cool.
On that one. And then the 16th, Shifties in Syracuse, 8 to 12.
They switched around the stage there, didn't they?
Yeah, they
a little
made it
bit
deeper.
Yeah, he was
a
just
little bit
telling
deeper.
me. I heard that.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's a really great venue. It's nice playing in a venue that people like music, you know, because it seems like everybody's. One of the things that bugs me when I have to go play some of these gigs, I have to kind of like come down for the crowd. I have to like kind of subdue what I want to do.
Right.
But that's the way it is. It's like playing in a casino sometimes. Maybe not casino gigs you got, but
well, like Vernon Downs has a decibel limit,
Oh, yeah.
And Turning Stone did for a hot second at the gig, but not anymore because it's a rock club. You know what I mean? But for those casino gigs, you kind of understand it at some point. I know Seneca Niagara, when we played there, had one, but they actually had limiting, like where, like they would run sound and they would not let anybody else run sound, but they had like a limiter where it wouldn't go above that certain decibel.
You guys play in that stage? It's like 20 feet up in the air.
Yeah. What a great gig though! It was like you showed up, you played like 2.5 hours, and then you played 2.5 hours the next night, and you go home.
Yeah,
just easy.
Nice hotel room.
Yeah, right across the street there. Yep.
Yeah, really cool.
Awesome. But where are you playing this week? You're pretty busy too.
Actually, I'm very happy to say that I'm not playing until Wednesday this week at DiMattio's in Rome. They just built this beautiful patio in the back. Nice little pop-up tent on a big patio, and the full band's there Wednesday, 6 to 9.
Wednesday, huh?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to come see you.
Awesome, man. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. I'd love to jam with you at some point. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But, then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're at Dacres for Labor Day. It's our 23rd year at Dacres for the holiday weekends.
Yeah, and you always do Memorial Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day.
All 3 nights.
All 3 nights, yeah. That's awesome, man.
That's a fun place.
Oh, yeah. It's great.
And then I also got to say that Labor Day is actually my son's 5th birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Oliver.
And then the next day he starts kindergarten.
Oh, here it comes.
Yeah. Dad's having a hard time. I'm having a hard time.
Here it comes. Also, we should make the announcement, too. We're going to probably be going earlier.
Yes.
Now that your son's in school.
Now that my son is going to school.
Local Music Monday is probably going to start up a little bit earlier.
We'll my wife had an idea. She says maybe for some of them we'll have to pre-record.
That's good. We could.
Because,
yeah, for sure. Or I could come to your house.
I love that. That would be cool. That would be cool.
That'd be a lot of fun.
We'd get really drunk, though.
Yeah, I know. I know how we are, man. Joe Town saying happy birthday to your son.
Oh, thanks, Joe Town.
Yeah. I got to hang out with you guys sometime.
Yeah, anytime, Jimmy. Please.
Yeah, definitely.
Please.
Yeah. Hey, there's always another chair open,
Always.
You're always welcome, brother.
For sure, man. And I want to get you back in here, too, because, like I said, we didn't scratch the surface.
No.
We didn't even touch on the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't we all forget about that decade?
We did. That's why we forgot about it.
That's where it really started going down.
Jimmy, if anybody's interested in checking out your music or videos, how do they find you on the social medias?
They threw me off.
Did they? Are you in Facebook jail right now?
Yeah, I'm at Facebook and Instagram, and that's the best place because my JimmyWolf.com is under new construction.
Gotcha. Do you need a web guy?
I need something.
I got a guy for you.
Got a guy.
I got a guy.
A girl?
No, it's a guy. It's a guy. But no, this has been great, Jimmy. Thank you so much for taking the time and come hang out with us. And let's figure out another time we can get you back in. And if you got anything you want to promote, if you got a show coming up, a festival or an album or whatever, you want to promote a new bass player, come on in. Anytime you want, brother.
All right. Thank you very much, brother.
Shout out to Upgrade Brain Formula right here. This little stuff right here, magic in a bottle. You want to wake up, you want to get smarter, you want to get more active. This is the stuff that will help you get more active and more smarter. Go to freemanformula.com, use promo code disruption and get you a 15% discount. Unlock the brain receptors in your brain. Do it. I'm telling you, this stuff really, really works. It's not like a 5-hour energy. It doesn't give you all the meth shakes, as I call it.
Sure.
Like 5-hour energy gives you meth shakes.
Meth shakes.
It does. And you're just like, oh my God.
And you feel like your face is on fire.
Right.
Yeah.
This
like
doesn't
that.
do that. It doesn't give you, there's no caffeine in this at all.
Yeah, no.
It's all,
Really?
it's green
it's all
tea
natural
extract.
stuff, yeah.
It's all natural. All of this stuff is natural. Help wake up your brain
Oh,
receptors.
green tea, I can't drink that.
No. You can smoke it, though. Go to freemanformula.com freemanformula.com. Use promo code disruption for 15% discount. Thank you to EJA Moving Services. I love those guys. When you're ready to move and relocate, hit up them at 315-335-0516 or EJAmoving.com. Thank you to Joey's at 307 Mohawk Street. Go check it out. Utica's Fine Dining over there, man. They're doing some great things over there. Thank you to Utica Coffee, Saranac Brewery. My attorney, Dave Longaretta. If you need legal advice, give him a call today, 315-735-6162. And, of course, Ballsy, ballwash.com. Use promo code members only for 15% discount. Get you some ball wash and some nut rub and some sack spray and hygiene for your groin area.
Sack spray. This is great. I mean, like, I just love that. I love those people.
It's a great company. It's a great product, too. I'm telling you. We got to do something for the women, though.
I know,
You
right?
know, we have all these women that watch us.
Wait, they're going to
every
get offended
Monday.
right now. Now they're going to say,
No.
what, do you think we smell?
No, not at all. We should get like humidity or something like that, you know, or something. You know what I'm saying? Like something for the boobs and boob sweat. Boob sweat's a real thing.
Dehumidify your titty.
Dehumidify your titty.
With dehumidity.
Humidity.
Humidity.
All right, we're out of here.
He's going to get best legs in rock and roll over here or what?
Justin?
Me?
Yeah.
You know, I was
Yeah.
watching Showtime yesterday, and it's like they're all wearing shorts on stage. It's like they all look like they just got off the golf course when they're playing.
The funny thing is, like, I'll tell you though, like, I get every time that there's a picture on Facebook, Milano's on there, going, "Nice to see you're still wearing shorts and flip flops," and I'm like, you know, so I started. You know, what I started doing.
You're not a heavy metal band.
No, but I started taking off my flip flops, and I play barefoot now,
Good.
and I'm like, screw it. You know what I mean? I'm like, whatever. But that's what I'm like. What am I supposed to wear? Jeans and a button down. I go, it's 95 fucking degrees out, Lenny. Are you serious?
Right.
Anyway,
I'm with you.
I had to vent a little bit, okay? You know.
And that was a rant by Justin Smith.
Yes.
What grinds Justin's gears?
We're gonna see you in 2 weeks.
Yes, for sure. Well, next week we're taking it off. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
Labor
Day, but we'll be back in 2 weeks. So, you guys have yourself a good day, Jimmy. Thanks again for coming in, and check us out, disruptionnetwork.net. Later.